What is up, guys? Fado82 coming at you with a commentary on Ark. I wanted to talk about the game after having put a little over 80 hours into the game. And what you're looking at is some general footage that I've taken of the game. This is some footage of the base that we have. We've been building it for the past week and a half. It might not look like a lot, but it takes a lot to get the resources to be able to build this. We've also been taming dinosaurs along the way, so we've put a lot of time into the game. So some people have asked, hey Fado, where's the Ark videos? Why aren't we seeing more Ark Let's Plays? Well, the situation there is that I've kind of bounced around a bit with different groups and different servers, and we'd get a good thing going, and then people would quit the game. They'd rage quit because their dinosaur got killed, the base got raided, and that happened a couple times, so I wasn't able to really get it going, the flow going the way that I wanted to. We did a really cool cave base raid. We had a really good group going, and I did record that, and that was a lot of fun. But after that, that group fell apart, and it's really not a game where you can play solo. So if you're a lone wolf, it's really very difficult in Ark to get by solo, and it's really not a lot of fun. So I encourage you to find groups. But what you're seeing on the official servers right now is sort of the unfortunate thing that happens, and it happens in Rust 2, where you see 2 or 3 big groups that really form, and it's really pronounced on Ark servers because a lot of servers have 70 player caps. So if you get, a couple groups with 15, 20 people, I mean, before you know it, that's a lot of the server in sort of the same tribes, and it just gets, I don't know, I like smaller groups. So I moved to a smaller community server that has rules against griefing. Typically, I don't like limiting any player interactions, but in Ark, I'm actually for that, only because when your base gets raided, that's not the biggest deal, but when your dinosaurs get killed, it's a huge loss, and it actually is something that stings a bit. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that aspect, because if you guys are thinking about getting Ark, or if you have Ark right now, you can certainly relate to it. And the dinosaurs are really the selling point for Ark. There's no doubt about that. But the pets are unlike pets that you would have in other games, so you want to be prepared for that and really know what you're getting into. So when you tame a dinosaur in Ark, it is an arduous process. It's slow, especially if it's a higher level dinosaur, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of effort, and a lot of teamwork to be able to get these dinosaurs. Now today I logged on and I lost my favorite dinosaur. It might not seem like a big deal when you're looking at the fact that we have a bird and we have a couple T-Rexes, but I lost my scorpion. He was my favorite. He was the first dinosaur that I tamed. It took me a while to tame him because scorpions are a little bit tricky. His name was Bad Blood. He was level 31. I had leveled him up for quite some time, and I really had sort of a connection to that dinosaur. You can see some footage of Bad Blood here. My buddy Rob's riding on him. And, pun intended, it stung a little bit when my scorpion died. I kind of had to sit back for a minute and just reflect on that today when I logged on. I don't know how he died. Something might have ate him. He definitely didn't starve. But anyways, it made me think about games like this and how important it is to have that sort of anxiety about losing your possessions, like in Rust. That's apparent here too, but also the dinosaurs. As much as it sucks to lose something like that, it's part of what adds the magic to the game. It's a very visceral experience. But in this game, the pets become part of the narrative. So when you tame a pet, you have stories about the process of taming it. Remember that time we were taming that bird and, a T-Rex came by and we had to fight it off, or it ate the bird and we had to start over again, or when you do tame your pet, you'll have these stories, these lived experiences when your pet saves you from doom, from near death or something, or it saves you from another player who's about to kill you. And it's this sort of lived experience, not only with your tribe mates, with your teammates, but also with those dinosaurs that you tame. And it's unlike any other game that I've played. Now, with a game like this, it's a bit of a grind, and I think that's why people have rage quit in previous groups that I've been in, because they lose the dinosaur and they're like, fuck it, I'm done. I put so much time into it. But it's just part of the game. You've got to go with that experience. It's not, this is sort of a game where that circle of life is very apparent. As much as you might be very invested into a dinosaur, there's always something bigger and badder out there for the most part, especially if you get into the boss battles. And you might lose your favorite pet at any time. So you just kind of got to come to terms with that with Ark. But it's a very rewarding experience to tame a pet, especially if it's something of a rare color or has attributes that are a little bit higher. So anytime you come across a pet, it's going to have its own statistics. its own stats. So if you go ahead and knock it out, you can kind of take a look at it. It also might have a rare color variation where it has a hue that's a little bit different, or there's albino T-Rexes, and those things are very rare. So when you get one, it adds to the value of it because they're less common. So it's an experience that's about sort of collecting these dinosaurs, using them to the best of their ability, using them wisely. You don't want to be foolish with them and try to go swimming with your T-Rex and have it lose stamina, pass out, and drown or something like that. But I guess, you know, just to kind of sum it up, the dinosaurs really become part of the narrative in the game. And that's what I'm really learning after having put about 80 hours into the game, is that as much as it's that player-driven narrative, part of these creatures become part of that rich tapestry too, which is really interesting. And I think that's the selling point to Ark. A lot of you guys might say, you know, how does Ark compare to Rust? And you know, they're both survival games. Ark is not better than Rust. It's not anything, you know. Rust does things that it's far superior in terms of base building and PvP. Rust wins in that regard. But if you're somebody who's interested in you know, more of the PvE aspect, certainly, you know, Ark is where it's at right now. And if you're interested in taming creatures and having them, you know, at your disposal, Ark is unlike any other game. But be prepared that it's a lot harder than it looks. So when you see the footage, you might be thinking of other games you've played where you've had mounts or have had, you know, tameable creatures, but in Ark it's going to be much less forgiving. So just be prepared for loss. Overall, guys, I'm really enjoying Ark. I think it's a great game. Definitely going to be doing more Let's Play videos on it when I find content worth recording. And let me know, guys, what you think. Let me know what the experiences you're having in Ark, and if you have any specific questions. I will be doing more Ark footage. I'll kind of intermix it with the Rust footage. I think they're very similar games. They're both survival-oriented games. They both focus on PvP, crafting, and I don't think they're too dissimilar. So I don't think it's a great deviation from the channel to do Ark. So no need for the "get back to Rust, bitch" comments. If you don't like Ark, simply don't watch it. If you do, tune into the Ark footage. Don't worry, I'm not losing the focus on Rust. I love Rust. It's my favorite game. So as always, guys, hope you enjoyed the commentary. Fado82, peace.